being remote is one of the most sought out positions in any company today. Although most companies are going from remote work to back in the office, there are still those gems out there that are willing to allow their engineers to work fully remote. Now, when it comes down to working fully remote, most people don't know exactly what happens when you are remote. A lot of people just like the idea of being away from the entire workplace and not having to drive there, but they don't look at all the other aspects that play a part into them being remote. From missed promotions to isolations and missed learning opportunities, being remote plays a large factor in your electrical engineering career moving forward. Hello everybody, my name is Jodabeni and I'm an electrical engineer, and I was working fully remote for a little over a year. And as an electrical engineer, it was something that I never expected to be able to do. But this video is made as a perspective of what I went through during this time period that maybe you can learn from it and know what's expected. So the first and foremost, the most important thing that I want to point out is promotions. Whenever you are fully remote as an electrical engineer, or most positions at that, you're out of sight and out of mind. And because most people don't have a face to attach to your name, sometimes you may have a picture on your teams, but it's not the same as having that in-person interaction with different people and your management and team. When it comes to climbing up the corporate ladder, fully remote employees are usually the ones that are last looked at because management wants somebody who's there present, who can tackle whatever tasks that are at hand within the company in person. But when you are fully remote, you tend to put on the back burner because you are their full-time employee, but you're not there present. So if you watch this video so far and you're finding value, it would help the channel tremendously if you could hit the subscribe button down below and the like button if you enjoy the video. Now let's get back into it. And as you start moving up in engineering fields, with each promotion, you go from solo into managerial positions. And this requires you handling different amounts of engineers and co-working with other program managers. And a lot of times, most of these managers are in the office and they want to interact with other project leads. You hear every day that everybody says in the corporate world, being technical as an electrical engineer is one part, but it's those soft skills that you utilize in the environment that helps you move up or get placed where you want to be. Naturally, people tend to prioritize those they interact with in person. So every time you are only interacting through Teams, you have less interaction with most people. That said, I would say there are some exceptions if you are in a field that's fully software related. For an example, you are an electrical engineer where everything you do is done digitally. And maybe other people on your team do the same exact thing and you are not required to be there in person. Only then would I say it's not as bad because the team or your managers know that even if they promote you, you're still gonna be managing all of those other people who are fully remote. So you guys are in this fully remote bubble and you guys are getting promoted within. But if you're in an organization where you are shared responsibilities with people who do go to the office, they're more likely to put more emphasis on those who come into the office, because even though it indirectly doesn't prove that they're doing more quality work than you, but because they're present, people are more naturally to remember the goods that they do for the company. And when people start to like you as a person, because you interact with them daily, they're more likely to give you favor when it comes to promotions. But working remotely doesn't just affect your career growth in the business. It can actually affect you personally as well. And this is where we shift in point 2, loneliness. Many engineers opt into remote work because usually they have families and they want to take advantage of being able to work remotely, maybe to watch the kids while the wife goes out to work, and or they can take care of sick family members when they are at home. But whenever you shift over to all the electrical engineers who are unmarried, they don't live with their girlfriends, they're fully alone. Naturally, most engineers aren't very extroverted. Because many electrical engineers aren't extroverted, whenever they work fully remote, once they clock out of their laptops or their computers, most of them don't go outside and communicate with others. There may be a few people who go to the gym, but even then, they might not even speak to anybody. And over time, this starts to build this loneliness for them. Without your daily office interactions, some of these folks don't speak to other humans at all in person. And this is where a lot of people start getting depressed and they go into a bad route where it starts to affect them into their work life as well. That it's easier to get burnt out because the only thing you know in your life currently is just work, work, work. You don't talk to people, you don't go out and have fun. So eventually the burnout is gonna happen a lot faster than it's supposed to be. So what I did to mitigate a lot of this was initially when I first started, I was like, oh yeah, I'm so grateful that my company lets me work fully remote. But after about a few weeks, you start to realize that, hey, it's not as great as it is depicted to be. So I was originally hybrid and then I shifted over to fully remote. But then after 3 weeks, I started realizing I really missed the times where I could go to the office and see some of my friends that are in the office. But now a lot of the times I could only talk to them if I set up meeting with them on Teams. And it was cool sometimes to just catch them in the office for a brief moment, 1 or 2 minutes, and be like, hey man, how's it doing? And move on with my day. But to go out of your way and take maybe a 10 or 15 minute time on Teams to meet with somebody to talk about non-work things is just unfeasible, and it's probably frowned upon because you're using company time for leisure activities. And most of the time you're not going to do that. Every now and then you might get into a meeting that guys are all together and you might say hi before the meeting starts. But even then that's like 10 seconds or 30 seconds and you don't want everybody else in the meeting to hear you guys' conversation. So what helped me the most was I ended up joining a semi-professional soccer team where I got to train with them multiple times a week and I played on the weekends. And I was able to go to the gym very often and I was able to play basketball at LA Fitness with a lot of the guys there. And I started making new friends there where every day once I clock out of work, I'll drive straight to the gym. We might play for about an hour and a half and I'll get back, do what I need to do and reset. This kept me engaged with other people so that even though I didn't see people in my company, I was able to still interact with others outside in the real world. So the third point is, and this isolation isn't just personal, it also leads into your career growth, which is our point 3. Being fully remote makes it harder to build good, genuine connections and network. When you're fully remote, most of the meetings that you will get into are those that are scheduled. And you're most likely not going to speak to anybody that's outside of these meeting circles. But when you're in the office, you can go up to your manager or someone else that you know, and they could be talking currently with somebody else who's maybe working on a project that you may have been interested in, or you've never even heard about, but now it's something you're interested in. But none of this could have happened done over a Teams meeting, because usually when people are all invited into a Teams meeting, you only speak when it's your turn to speak. And if out of this entire meeting, there's nothing there for you to speak, you're not going to speak. So although there may be people who join the Teams meeting who may work on different variety of projects that you are interested in, you will never know because they will not talk about it because it's not relevant to the currently scheduled meeting. This is where whenever you're in the office, you can actually get to meet new people. Maybe if you go eat lunch with your friends, other people could be invited. And this is how you build your networking connections. And these people you network with will help you get into various programs in different companies that will help you move forward. And all of this is just tying back into that first point of helping you climb the ladder in the corporate world. But if you are in a position where you have to be remote, what I would recommend is make sure everybody who's on your teams in your variety of projects, you try your best to genuinely build good connection with those people, because now you are limited to only those who work on your programs to actually get to know them better. So you have to try your best not to burn any of those bridges, because those bridges are the only things you're gonna have left to help you move forward in this operation. And beyond just the people aspect, being remote robbed me of certain things that I didn't even think about when I went into it, which was the capability of working on hardware in person. Especially if you're somebody like me who was remote and I was living several states away, I didn't have the feasibility to be able to go to the office and test out or even see all the equipment that we made. Although my position wasn't a test engineer, everything that I designed that got printed onto PCBs and got released, I would have loved to be able to touch it and feel it in person for the first time. The only thing that I got to see was a 3D model on the software, but I never got to see it in person. And moments like that are very unique for every engineer, because something you spent months and years working on, it finally came into real life production, but you never even got the chance to feel it or touch it in person. But not only that, There are other programs that you may have been interested in, but it requires you to come into the office to work on these things, whether it be a test bench or different levels of the design and building that requires you to be in person. Maybe there's some secret programs that require you to be in the office in a skiff to work on cool electronic components, but you cannot do that because you're working fully remote. So the hands-on learning aspect, which is our point 4, is what's very crucial. The more you're hands-on, it helps you understand the application of everything you're building. Maybe there's a certain way you built your circuitry that's affecting the results on it when it comes to testing, and you can visually see that, and that helps you out moving forward. But whenever you're fully remote, a lot of that hands-on opportunity with the real-life hardware is significantly taken out of the picture. But that's definitely if that's something you're interested in. And definitely for me, I like to be hands-on as much as possible because I feel like that's where I learn the most outside of the theory. If you're fully remote, it's not the end all or be all. But if you're going to be remote, I want you to take all of these things into consideration. There's pros and cons for everything. And after working fully remote for over a year, I've seen the pros and the cons. And what I think would work better for me is fully hybrid. I would like to be able to come home or not go into the office if I'm sick or if I gotta take care of family members. But if I don't need to do all of that, I can still be in the office. As you guys can tell, I'm pretty extroverted, so I have no problem with being in the office. But there's some people who are not like me and prefer to be at home, which is completely understandable if your work meets those requirements. So if you've worked fully remote, what is your opinion on this? Let us know in the comment section down below. And I appreciate you all for coming around and watching this video. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Jodabeni is out.